Hi everyone, this is Rachel from StudioUs. It's springtime and almost Easter, so today we're going to learn how to draw this adorable Easter bunny with a basket and eggs. So go ahead, grab your supplies, and let's get started. You'll need a blank piece of paper, a pencil with an eraser, a Sharpie to go over your lines at the end, and an eraser to clear everything off once you're done going over your Sharpie lines. Get started. So we're going to start by finding the middle of the paper, and that midline is going to make the top of our oval. We're going to go down a little less than halfway, mark out the bottom, find the center of that space, and mark out our sides, looking at how much room we have on the side of the paper as a guide. There we want to sketch in our oval, so make sure you curve up quite a bit at the ends and then flatten it out as you get toward the center. Coming back around on the other side and curving up more at the end. That's how you avoid having your oval looking more like a football. Keeping it nice and curvy and rounding down. Darken up my lines just a little bit to clean everything up. Alright, looks good. We're going to add an oval inside of the first oval, kind of watching the spacing on the top and bottom and coming in a little bit further on the sides to give us a little extra room. Same thing, curve up those sides and then flatten out at the top to bring it around. Checking all the curves, making sure it's nice and even. We're going to mark out how far down we want that center to go, and then drop two straight lines coming down from the sides of those ovals. They should be about the same length. And then we're going to curve that around to match the bottom half of the oval above it, so that we get the rim for our basket. Alright, we're going to mark out the center bottom, how far down we want the basket to go. And we're coming in a little bit from the sides of the basket, and then drawing a semicircle, coming all the way down to that bottom mark. I'm going to give myself a couple dots as guides, and then sketch it in. There. Time to start on the bunny. So we're going to give him his feet. Notice that the semi-ovals we've got going there stay inside that inner ring on the basket. So I can use the distance from the edge of the basket as a guide for how big those should be. Adding in the tops of the feet, so just curving those around and bringing them up a little bit more. We're also going to add in our first egg shape. bunny. It comes up just above the edge of those ovals, starting to come up out of that basket. And one more little egg shape. We've got a little bit of erasing to do, so I'm going to clean out the lines inside the bunny and the eggs. I want to take away that background basket line so it looks like the bunny is coming up from the middle of the basket. Alright, we're adding in his head, so I'm going to mark the bottom, top, and sides, just to give myself a little guide for where I want those edges to be, and then I can sketch in the shape. Cleaning up any extra lines before I move on to the next step. I'll start his bow tie with a little rounded rectangle right where his head connects to his body. Also going to give him some fluffy little hair at the top of his head to make him look super cute. And we're going to get that grass down in front of his feet. With grass, you don't have to be super exact, just keep it kind of jagged and fuzzy. Alright, we're working on either side of that rounded rectangle to sketch in that bow. And I'm using the sides of his face and body to look for where the lines overlap as a guide for how big that bow should be. Another erasing step, we're going to clean out the lines inside the bow and the lines connecting the fuzzy bits to his head. Should be good to go. A couple little lines inside the grass as well where his feet overlap with them. Whenever you erase, make sure you darken up your pencil lines if anything gets erased that you want to keep. That way we can keep track of what's good and what we want to get rid of for sure. Don't forget the little line at the top of his head. Connect that fuzz to his face. Alright, I'm marking out where the ears start and end and how far out they go. I'm going to give myself a couple little dot guides to make sure I'm getting the right angle on those ears. One kind of flops out to the side while one sticks up more straight. Draw them in. Same thing on the other one. I'm using the little fuzzy hair bits as a guide for where my ear should start. Marking out my height and then sketching it. A little touch up on the curve there. Make sure you got it looking just right. Now we're going to recreate that shape a little smaller inside the ear. So keeping the spacing on the edges the same all the way around, we're going to get a little teardrop shape inside both ears. little tricky. We're going to get the handle for the basket. I like to start with the outside arch, kind of dot out how high I want it to go and mark where I see it hitting those ears and where I see it hitting the basket. Once I've got that all dotted out, draw it in, and then I'll get the inside arch. Little touch up because it was looking a little straight over there, so we're going to curve it around a little more. And we've got it. A couple little guide marks to help me get the inside arch. I always dot these out so I can make sure I'm keeping the same distance all the way around. And draw it in. Go. And we're going to erase out the lines where the basket overlaps the handle. Super quick and easy. We're going to get these curvy little lines to make the twist on the handle. So just sketch these in. If we don't have the exact same numbers, make sure it's no big deal. A little bit of texture to make it look like an Easter basket. Alright, I'm going to find the middle of my bottom scoop and draw a little half oval shape right in the center to get that pattern for the bottom of the basket. There, I'm going to mark where it starts, sketch up, curve the other side around. It's almost like the same shape as the one in the center, just cut off a little bit. Both sides, there we go. We got some details in the bunny now. We've got little details on the bow. Giving him some arms and a little belly line. And we're starting his face. Alright, getting the rest of his face in, we've got a little curvy triangle shape for the nose. And these little scoops for his mouth. Some whiskers. Two small little eyes right up above his nose, kind of close together. Adding in a background line for a little hill. Sketching in the rest of our eggs that are up in the grass. doing eggs, make sure instead of ovals, you've got them offset a little bit. So they're a little thicker at the bottom and a little pointier at the top. Adding a few stripes in some of the eggs and a little bit of grass detail in that background just to finish everything up. There we go. Alright, we're ready to grab our Sharpie and start going over the Sharpie lines. Really take your time on these. It takes so much time doing the drawing, you don't want to go over the wrong line and have a big Sharpie line going through everything. Remember, you can always erase pencil, can't ever erase the Sharpies. This is where you want to be the most careful during your drawing. Got a lot of big Sharpie lines like we do on this drawing. Don't be afraid to kind of stop in the middle, pick your pen up, and restart. Sometimes it's easier to reposition your hand and continue the line after lifting your hand up than to try to do the whole thing in one single motion. Bottom of the basket, and we'll be ready to color. Make sure you grab an eraser, go over all your Sharpie lines, clear all that pencil off. We're going to jump right in with a nice bright blue, and I always outline my edges on the background first before I fill in the space. That way I can make sure I don't accidentally bump into the other colored areas like the basket or the bun. So a nice outline around everything. Even getting my outside edges on the paper. And we'll fill it in. I like to try to work in the same direction whenever I'm coloring something else. So if I start out side to side, keep going side to side through the whole picture to make it look nice and even. You can use the flat side of your marker to get a nice thick line and fill it in really quickly. Alright, we're going to grab the seafoam green and just get the highlight in the back of that grass to make the back look like it's lit up by the sun a little bit. So I outline where I want the color to go. Fill it. Grab a regular old green. Fill in the rest of that grass. Still careful to outline all my areas. Make sure I don't accidentally fill into any of the areas with the basket. Inside the basket as well. Background spot. And we'll go ahead and get the grass up in the front of the basket. Yellow, get all the yellow spots on all those eggs. Yellow on the basket as well. Still outlining my areas first and then filling in. Take your time, stay inside those Sharpie lines. If you run that yellow into the green, you're going to get streaky yellowy green eggs. So we're grabbing a light pinky peach and getting just the highlights on the eggs and the highlights on the pink parts of the bunny like the ears. We're going to go in with a color called Coral Reef, which is a light pink. Color all the rest of the pink areas, making sure not to get those highlights we just put in. You always want to put the lightest color first and then build up darker as you go. Alright, we've got a light pinky purple. That to get all the shadows on the pink parts and the eggs, and we're going to fill in the bottom of the Easter basket. The highlights on the bow and the highlights on the purple eggs. Regular old purple, fill in that bow, fill in our purple egg, making sure not to get the highlights. And we're going to carefully mark out where we see that shadow along the top of those bumps in the basket. Grab a gold and orange, get any shadows on the yellow eggs, and following the lines we have from the purple, we're going to make the rest of that shadow up along the rim of that basket on top of the yellow parts. just the right color right now. Hold on a sec. There we go. We're going back in with the beige. And where I have the highlight, I'm going to leave a white spot because it's such a light color. The highlight on these are white. Feet and the little light beige part of the face. And going with the light tan. Get the highlights on the bun. If you don't have this exact color, just take the lightest brown you've got. Going a little bit darker, kind of a bronze color, filling in the rest of that bun. So we want a medium brown for this one. Careful when I'm filling in these areas not to go over the highlights I just put in. Always take stuff darker if we need to, but it's hard to get those light spots back in if you're not careful. Good. Back in with our light tan, color in those light spots on our basket. So we're leaving out the lightest bits as a highlight, filling in the rest of the basket with the light tan, and then go over with the bronze to bring in the shadows. Careful with the lightest highlight, and go ahead and leave that one. We're taking a darker brown, and while that light tan on the basket dries a little bit, we're going to put our shadows on the bunny. Really 3D and realistic. Don't forget those ears. I'm going with a Sharpie and coloring the eyes. I'm leaving out a little white dot just to make them look a little more alive. And then we're going to go in with our bronze, with the shadows on our basket. You always want to give marker a little time to dry, otherwise it's hard to layer it up. And once we're done with that, you've got your finished Easter bunny, complete with Easter eggs and basket. Great job, guys. We'll see you for the next one.